shield was broken. In a final act of defiance, Abhimanyu lifted a chariot wheel as a weapon, reminiscent of Lord Krishna's famous. In the epic of the Mahabharata, few episodes evoke as much emotion and tragedy as the death of Abhimanyu, the young and valiant son of Arjuna and Subhadra. Though still a teenager, Abhimanyu's bravery and skills in battle were unmatched, and his death marked a critical turning point in the Kurukshetra war. Abhimanyu was born to Arjuna, the greatest archer of his time, and Subhadra, Krishna's sister. Raised with the Pandavas during their exile, Abhimanyu was trained in warfare from a young age and was especially adept at using the bow. He inherited his father's martial abilities and Krishna's divine wisdom, making him a formidable warrior despite his youth. The moment of his greatest challenge came on the 13th day of the Kurukshetra war. Dronacharya, the commander of the Kaurava army, devised a nearly invincible military formation known as the Chakravyuha, a spiral labyrinthine battle formation. This formation was designed to trap and annihilate the enemy forces, and only a few warriors knew how to break through it. Arjuna, one of the few who could penetrate the Chakravyuha, had been drawn away from the battlefield that day by another Kaurava strategy. As the Pandavas struggled to find a way to break the formation, Abhimanyu stepped forward. While still in his mother's womb, he had overheard Arjuna explaining the secrets of the Chakravyuha to Subhadra. However, before Arjuna could explain how to exit the formation, Subhadra had fallen asleep, and thus Abhimanyu only learned how to enter it, but not how to escape. Despite this, the young warrior volunteered, confident in his ability to at least breach the formation and open the way for the other Pandava warriors. Yudhishthira, Bhima, and the others agreed to support Abhimanyu in his bold plan, with the intent to follow him into the formation and protect him. With unmatched courage, Abhimanyu stormed into the Chakravyuha, cutting through the enemy ranks with ease. His arrows flew with precision, and no one could stop his advance. Abhimanyu's youthful energy and sheer determination allowed him to pierce the impenetrable Kaurava defenses. However, as Abhimanyu made his way deeper into the formation, the Kauravas, led by Dronacharya, Karna, Duryodhana, Ashwatthama, and others, employed a cruel tactic. They quickly sealed the entry point, preventing the other Pandavas from following Abhimanyu into the Chakravyuha. Abhimanyu found himself trapped, alone in the midst of the enemy's greatest warriors. Despite being surrounded by seasoned warriors, Abhimanyu fought bravely. He held his ground, defeating many renowned Kaurava soldiers, including Duryodhana's son, Lakshmana. His skill and bravery awed even the greatest of warriors. However, Abhimanyu's situation grew increasingly dire as he fought with no way to retreat and no reinforcements. In a move that defied the codes of dharma and fair warfare, the Kaurava warriors collectively decided to attack Abhimanyu simultaneously, violating the rules of honorable combat, which typically dictated single combat. Karna broke Abhimanyu's bow from behind, leaving him without a primary weapon. Drona destroyed his chariot, Ashwatthama killed his horses, and Kripacharya struck down his charioteer, leaving the young warrior defenseless. Even without his chariot and bow, Abhimanyu refused to surrender. He picked up a sword and shield and continued to fight valiantly, killing many more Kaurava soldiers. Eventually, his sword was shattered and his shield was broken. In a final act of defiance, Abhimanyu lifted a chariot wheel as a weapon, reminiscent of Lord Krishna's famous gesture in the Mahabharata. Despite his incredible courage, the sheer numbers and dishonorable tactics of the Kaurava warriors overwhelmed him. Abhimanyu was struck down by a coordinated attack led by Karna, Dushasana's son, and others. The great young hero fell, surrounded by enemies, his life taken before he could reach his full potential. When news of Abhimanyu's death reached Arjuna, who was still away from the battlefield, he was consumed with grief and rage. Arjuna vowed to kill Jayadratha, the king of Sindhu, who had played a key role in blocking the Pandavas from following Abhimanyu into the Chakravyuha. His vow set the stage for one of the most dramatic and pivotal moments in the Mahabharata, the slaying of Jayadratha. Abhimanyu's death remains one of the most heartbreaking events in the Mahabharata. It symbolizes the tragedy of war, where even the bravest and most innocent lives are lost to the cruelty of conflict. His heroism in the face of overwhelming odds and his unwillingness to back down from his duty are celebrated as defining qualities of a true warrior. Though his life was cut short, Abhimanyu's legacy endured, and his son, Parikshit, went on to become the last ruler of the Kuru dynasty.